Hello guys, today we're gonna review The Last Spell. The Last Spell is a tactical RPG, a city builder, and a roguelite. While traditional tactical RPGs would normally have two armies of similar size or only a slight disparity in size fighting each other head-on. The Last Spell it will generally be 3 or 4 versus over 100. As the clevers emerge from the mist, your limited barriers must defend the remnants of a city surrounding a little mage circle of mage trying to banish magic forever. If you can survive the night while they cast their last spell, you might be able to save some local heavens and eventually the world. Like any good tactical RPG, the last spell takes place on a square grid. Each town you intend on saving is called a heaven, and as you take control of your heaven, you'll be given 3 warriors at random. So the warriors themselves are randomized. You'll always be given a melee unit, a ranged unit, and a caster unit. There are a fair amount of weapons in the game, and each weapon determines which actions the unit can take. You can also mix and match weapons, opting to use 2 one-handed swords instead of sword and shield. Your units have action point, mana and movement points to determine what they can do and where they can be on the battlefield. The last spell is split up into 3 phases. The first phase is the production phase. This is where you spend time buying building and gear, placing defense and using warriors building action. Instantly, buildings and defense are very simple. You'll have house to build that provide workers, a shop and an inn. Workers can be used to remove ruin structure for gold and material or corpse piles for gold, materials, stained essence or items. The more enemies killed in area, the bigger the corpse pile and the more rewards available. Tainted essence is a currency used in the Oraculum to purchase more permanent upgrades. When you introduced to the Oraculum, it presented as twin souls providing a contract to assist you in saving the world. The twins are purple and orange. The purple twin provides favors that are permanent upgrades to your troops and heavens. Permanent upgrades include new buildings to perhaps new gear provided by said buildings, and unit upgrades like permanent health and mana or mana regenerate daily. The orange twins favors are more akin to achievements. You still reward, but instead of spending tainted essence to the favors, you require it to complete a task before they unlocked. For example, spend X action point casting skill provided by sword. Likewise, you unlock different types of upgrades here, such as units starting with a helmet equipped or even unlocking new heavens. My time spent with the last spell gave me that roguelike dopamine hit as intended. Thought instantly I was very put off by the gameplay structure. However, each subsequent replay had me invested in the game more and more. Different weapon combination with the assist defensive structure and the character queries kept things fresh enough that to run was the same. Unlocking new permanent upgrades made things slightly easier, but the game is balanced in such a way that even a big swing in tainted essence won't knock things to off balance. I should note I am very bad at this game. Just about every foray into the last spell had me making dozens of mistakes during the battle phase and having to make up for them in the production stage. Surprisingly to me, it's balanced out. I managed to make small amount of progress every run. Started to learn what weapon combos I like to have and how best to split up my small sortie when I had multiple enemies attacking at once. The learning curve in the last spell is gradually enough and matches the pace of the progression. I never once felt like the game threw more than me I could handle when it came to learning how the game works. When it came to enemies, the game always threw more at me and I could handle. Following the tradition of popular tactical RPGs franchise, the central conflict in the last spell begins small and becomes large throughout the game. In the beginning, this is a tale about survival, scraping by doing what you can see the next day. By the end of the game, the story is about thriving. You are no longer just trying to get breathing room, you're making plans for the new world. And that's what is new. A new world. By the end of the game, I had multiple heavens in many different states of ruin or construction. When you chose a heaven, you will be given the option to choose omens and modifier the current have run. There can include changes like increased health or mana for heroes or increasing the drop rate of specific weapon or armor, which each have has a set number of omen slots to take up. There is an optional boneless mode, which removes that restriction entirely. Enabling boneless mode allows you to equip as many omens for that run as you want. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye.